Right now, however, it is time to take a look at our nominees in the Best Documentary Feature category.
Shattered Dreams, Sex Trafficking in America, directed by Bill Wisniewski.
They want this, they're promiscuous. They like having a lot of sex in a day. They basically leave reality in order to make themselves feel better about what they're doing.
San Diego's Gay Bar History, directed by Paul Detweiler.
Guys that I know, they go downtown, they go to music festivals, they have all these other options that they weren't available to us when we were young. It's very important for us to have our own spaces, but it's not as important as it was 25 years ago, and that's progress, and that's really good.
Thud Pilots, directed by Mark Fiskara.
That you had just strapped in that airplane, and that was a proud time when you taxied that airplane out and gave that pilot a salute, and you know, you were one of the last ones that talked to him on the ground because you were
Calling All Earthlings, directed by Jonathan Berman.
And that's the real message of the higher cosmic story, the higher spiritual story of universal peace and brotherhood, and the higher scientific story of, wow, we can build cities in space. We can create our new Jerusalem in space.
Scramble the Seawolves, directed by Jeff Arballo.
You know, they would fly for an hour or so, and they'd come back, and we were shoving new rockets, getting fuel, and I never will forget, they just barely got it, woo, 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 and just, they pulled it up right off the ground, and they dumped.
And the winner is Scramble the Seawolves by Jeff Arballo.
Scramble the Seawolves was made as part of the KPBS Explore program and has made a significant positive impact on the lives of the Seawolves and Vietnam veterans and their families from coast to coast. It recently received national distribution.
Well, this is awesome. It's funny. I was actually shooting a track and field documentary in Los Angeles this morning, and then I was like, I got to get out of here. So, next event. I kept saying that. And then eventually I was like, man, I better go or I'm going to miss this thing. But, you know, when you do what you love, it doesn't feel like work. And so I love this, and it never feels like work. And this documentary, even though it took us 4 years to put together, we had ups and downs and everything, it never felt like work because we loved what we do. And the story is amazing. The Seawolves really weren't recognized when they came back from Vietnam, and they were put together in Vietnam and disassembled in Vietnam. Nobody really knew who they were. They became the most decorated squadron in naval aviation history and of the Vietnam War. And in fact, we actually have a Seawolf here, my father-in-law, Joe Crutcher. I want to give my wife a big round of applause because as you guys were talking about earlier, getting the money is the hardest part, and she had the hard part.
Oh, well, thank you. Oh my gosh. So I wrote something, and we're going to just take advantage of this moment. I'm emotional because this movie changed lives, and we knew that it would. We had hoped that it would. So this wouldn't be possible, the exposure that we've had with Scramble the Seawolves, without John Decker, Jill Linden from KPBS. So we're grateful for the opportunity. Bob Abercrombie and Tiffany Yarling at Solar Turbines, Sandy at Melrose Inc., Dick Carter at Western Ag. Bell Helicopter came on as a sponsor, which is perfect. The workhorse of the Vietnam War, the UH-1B Huey. So we're grateful for their support. We had over 80 veterans interviewed for this film, and it broke our heart that we couldn't include every single one of their stories in our film. But every word that they shared with us, we were grateful for, and we held on to it like it was precious. To the Seawolves, we appreciate you, we respect you, we thank you for your service. Thank you for my brother-in-law Chuck, who helped write, Josie, my mother-in-law, who helped write, my dad, who believed in us, my mom, who supported us, and my niece Lacey, who's here tonight. And I'm so proud of my husband, Jeff. Thank you.